So, back in 2018, I did a review of the Edifier W860NB Bluetooth headphone, where I was talking about the amazing sound delivery and audio quality, plus it had an incredible battery performance. Now, fast forward to 2019, and Edifier has stepped the game up a notch with their all-new active noise cancelling headphone, the W860NB, which is the first for Edifier as a company. And in this video, we're gonna see what's new, what's not. Did they make some good improvements, or is it just a big flop? Yo, what up guys, it's Colin here from CH Gadgets. So, for the most of 2018, the Edifier W830BT was my go-to Bluetooth headphone whenever I was traveling. And like I said in my full review video, by the way, if you haven't seen that yet, I highly suggest that you should go check it out over here or down here right after you finish watching this video. But what made it such a valuable companion to me was the fact that the audio quality was so amazing and the battery life was insane. However, there were a few things that made it fall short of being the perfect companion, and one of those were it wasn't an active noise cancelling headphone. So even though it sounded great and it did a good job at passively keeping things quiet, it wasn't equipped to keep as much out as I needed sometimes. And the next thing is, the controls wasn't as fluid and intuitive as they could have been. So Edifier addressed some of these concerns, and they came up with the W860NB. So here's the breakdown. From what I can tell, they didn't change much as far as the overall design in comparison to the design language of the W830BT. But I did notice a few aesthetical and functional tweaks that I want to point out. And the first thing that I noticed is the headband cushion above the crown is much thicker for extra support and comfort. Even though the headphones are really lightweight, it does help to have that extra support. The ear cup cushions are now softer and way more plush, providing even more passive isolation. And the yoke is now space gray instead of the light gray. And in my opinion, it looks kind of cool. They also added 2 additional microphones on each ear cup to support that active noise cancelling feature. And last but not least, you now have an ANC switch on the control side of the headphone right beside the power button. So if you remember on the W830BT, there was a little volume rocker that was integrated in the multifunction power button that was also used to skip and replay track. But now Edifier has went ahead and made some big improvements with the touch panel. That is a way more intuitive and fluid way to control the headphone. This is the kind of tech that you usually find in more expensive $250 to $350 pairs of headphones. But the last time I checked, you probably could still pick this up for about $160 to about $170, which is a deal if you ask me, compared to all that you're getting inside this package. So you already know the deal. You swipe up and down to increase and lower the volume. You swipe forward and back to skip and replay track. You double tap to pause and play, and you press and hold down for a few seconds whenever you want to launch a Siri or your Google Assistant. So apart from the things that I just mentioned, everything else seems the same as far as the look and feel of the headphone. So it still looks good and sophisticated, and it still is portable as previous generations with this design. It's not a battery king like the W830BT that gave me about 108 to 112 hours of continuous music playback. But in my test, I got about 60 hours of continuous playback at about 65 to 70% volume with ANC turned off, and about 34 hours of continuous playback at the same volume with ANC turned on, which is pretty good if you ask me when it's compared to other headphones that are in this class. So the question is, does it sound any good? Yes, it sounds really good. The audio quality and performance is amazing. The highs and the mids are mellow and crisp with a lot of detail, and the bass is rich and punchy. However, I did notice an ever so slight change in the sound signature as it's compared to the W830BT, and it did make a big difference in the overall sound quality and performance of the headphones. So I have a few ideas of what I think Edifier done with this as compared to the W830BT. Now, I think Edifier has done 2 minor adjustments to this headphone that I noticed, and like I said, in comparison to the W830BT. And the first thing that I've noticed is they they brought the mid-range up just a little so that it can have enough presence, but not too much to where it dominates the highs. And the second thing that I've noticed is that they brought the gain on the volume down just a little, and it's especially noticeable if you compare it to the W830BT. Now, here's why I believe they made these changes. Number one, because this is an active noise cancelling headphone, the audio engineers figured that your ears are going to be locked in an almost airtight cabin, which means that you're going to be super sensitive to everything that is going on inside your ear cups. And Edifier is completely obsessed with audio fidelity. So I think they went ahead and lowered the gain on the overall volume in order to reduce the distortion level. So even if you crank the volume to the absolute max, this ensures that it maintains a smooth delivery across all frequencies. Now, while they went ahead and brought the gain on the volume down, they went ahead and pushed up the mid-range just enough so that it can have enough presence, more than it did in the W830BT. But these two minor changes made a big impact on the overall sound quality and delivery of this headphone. For starters, it dramatically improves the soundstage of the headphone, and now vocals and dialogue sound even more natural than before when it's compared to what you used to experience on the W830BT. So, from what I can tell, the W860NB has a more balanced V-curve to its sound signature, which means that it still appeals to anyone that likes a variety of different genres. But now the only difference is the overall sound is way more natural and warm and just as colorful as before. And to be completely honest, I didn't think they could have made any improvements to what the 830BT had to offer as far as sound quality, because the sound is so good. But to my surprise, the W860NB sounds so much better and way more fun to listen to. And as a matter of fact, the W860NB has now officially replaced my W830BT as my new daily driver. Now, don't get me wrong, the W830BT still sounds amazing and there's nothing wrong with the audio delivery. It's just that the W860NB has widened the soundstage and added that natural tonal quality that makes vocal and instruments sound so much better. But if you're not too fussy about ANC and touch control, then you can't go wrong with the W830BT. Those are amazing. But if you want it all, the touch gesture, the ANC, the higher fidelity, then the W860NB is the way to go. Now, the active noise cancelling feature works great. It does a good job in keeping things quiet around you. And it does what you would typically expect from a headphone like this, which is keep the lower frequencies out and some of the higher frequencies also. And even though it doesn't keep everything completely quiet around you, I still believe that it performs way above its price class. And dig this, whenever you switch it on, it doesn't introduce too much cabin pressure, if any at all. And the best part is, it doesn't affect the EQ or the sound delivery like some other headphones in this price class often do when it's switched on. So overall, if you heard about the Edifier W830BT and how amazing the sound quality is by me or some other reviewers such as my friend Jeff from LFA Review, then you would be happy to know that the W860NB is a genuine upgrade to those headphones. And a must-have in my opinion if you're on a budget and you need a pair of ANC headphones that didn't skimp out on the audio fidelity and performance of the headphone. These are definitely highly recommended by me. And if you want one for yourself, check the link down in the description. And if there's something that I forget to mention in this video, then leave your question in the comment section right below the like button. Or if you just want us to talk a little bit more about these headphones, then I'll be hanging out down in the comment section. So let's talk. So if you want to be a cool guy or girl, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Peace.